Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Breakfast today is sponsored by Yitz Moshe, Lili Nishmas, Blum Vashlema Alevi, and by Betty Rodnick. We'll get to the sponsors in a few minutes. Today is a very, very special day. It's a very emotional day. 7.5 years ago, exactly, is when the Chevra, Noam Fix, and a few other guys, they asked me if I could say a Daf Yomi shir, and I agreed to do it the following day, which happens to be...
You were muted.
That's what he's saying?
That's what he said.
Test. I'm not muted.
Your mic maybe is not over?
No.
Just a good morning. Okay. Just the good morning.
Okay. We go weiter. We had many of these things over the last 7.5 years. False starts, different problems with the tech, Baruch Hashem. But one thing is steady. We do a daf every single day. 7.5 years ago we started, and I'm thinking about it now. First time I ever thought about it. We haven't missed a single day in 7.5 years. So even when I was away, Noam, you gave some shiurim, Menachem Ateh gave, but MDY went solid for 7.5 years. It's very, very emotional to think we started as a very small group of friends. We didn't really plan to be here for this, but it just so happens to be that the first person that ever walked into the shir, two shir, the 8-minute daf shir and the dafyomi shir, is Noam Fix, and he's sitting to my left right now, closest to me. And another person who's been there from almost the beginning is Avi Kamyansky, also with us. And Bezer Hashem this Shabbos, we're going to celebrate in Yerushalayim in the Waldorf with our families, 13 mishpachas, the 13 first families. To reflect back, tomorrow I guess I'll speak a little bit more about it, but Akash Baruch Hu says, Yo, give me Pischoi Pesach, Pischoi Shel Machat, whatever the Lashon is, Vani Yaftach Lechem Pischoi Shel Ulam, Pischoi Pesach Shel Machat, Vani Yaftach Lechem Pischoi Shel Ulam, something like that. We had no idea. Nobody had an idea. We said, okay, we're going to start a shir. And to start a shir, it has to be geschmack. So we started with the charts, and with the hands-on, and the mincha live, and this live, and people started coming, and the rest is history. Now 40,000 people are watching the shir, and we are probably right now the biggest kiruv organization in the world. Kiruv Kroivim in the world. Just more people davening b'minyan, more people doing Shnai Mikra, more people Avodah Zarah bias. Just kiruv Kroivim. So it's don't cry, Yeah, it's emotional. Bemis, very, very emotional. So here we are, live in Austria, in the Weber Tour, in Saint Anton, in the Fleis HaBaria outside, and here we are. It's in the Fleis HaBaria inside. To say that Balabatim, Hoshid Balabatim got together and put together such a unbelievable organization. Yeah, gotta go weiter so I don't start crying here. We'll talk a little bit about it tomorrow. I want to show you here, Stam, who would believe this is in Eretz Yisrael. We have 13 locations now, 13 live locations. So when the shir is live at 9 o'clock at night in Hebrew, there's 13 different shuls, and one of them is actually, a few of them might be, but at least one of them is a dedicated Beis Medrash just for MDY, just to show the shir on a big screen. And all these places have screens. Some of them have 20 people, some 15, 10. It's unbelievable. So to think that 7.5 years ago, and it flew by like this, I invite everybody who is not doing the daf to do it. It's life-changing. And if we could do it, you could do it. Somebody came over to me in the hotel and said, I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going to be a Magid Shir. I'm competing with you. I'm starting Avodah Zarah Daf Chav Ches, because that's where you started. We started Daf Koyach, and we're finishing on Daf Zach. Unbelievable. Pashut unbelievable. The newest location is in Bat Yam. So if you're in Eretz Yisrael and you live in Bat Yam, here you go. I think that I know the guy, Taka, now that I'm thinking about it. This was an incredible email. I'm not going to read all the emails today, but basically what we had over here. Oh, this guy is 500 days in. I want to say thank you, Mazel Tov to Noah Tai also. Avodah Zarah Daf Chov Vov is 500 days with MDY. Since joining, I've been empowered and excited to do your shir each day. A few highlights. In addition to Daf Yomi, I started Shnayim Mikra, thanks to MDY Sefer. Minyan attendance skyrocketed. You know who you are out there that needs a little chizuk and minyan attendance. Go to the shir, well, you'll skyrocket. Since to your shir, my learning has increased exponentially. My wife can see it too, where I'm able to bring in concepts of the shir we learn. So your shir has and will continue to change my life. Thanks for all that you do. Noah Tai, co-ambassador for Ohio. What else do we have here? So this I thought was very interesting, very, very special actually. Dear Rebelli, I'm 11 years old and I started doing the daf with you in the beginning of Masechtas Makis. Unfortunately, I got hit by a car about a month ago, but I still remembered the most important thing to do is the daf. Attaches a picture of me in the hospital doing the daf. I'm Baruch Hashem feeling much better. Check this out. Here's this little tzaddik, 11 years old, Siyum. His mother made him a nice cake. And it says MDY in it. And here he is in the hospital, holding on to the shir, learning the daf in the hospital. Just want to share with you, what's this? I have no idea. I don't know what that is. Oh, here's a place. This is a live place that in Eretz Yisrael they're doing the shir now. Live. That's what it is. Not bad, huh? How many people are there? 15? Yes, it is shir. You want to see again? It starts with the olives. Hold on.
כי כמו שנראה שזה מכחיש את הגוף גם. אז זה לא טוב לשידוך. באילו נמצאו...
You have a diverse crowd there too.
All right, so the Olam likes to see what we do here in the Alps. So let me just show you real quickly. This was today. We went whitewater rafting. There's a lot of water and a lot of rafts. This is... This is the nicest waterfall that we saw, but I showed some other stuff the other day, but I didn't show this. I wanted to show this. It's from a different angle. It's the beautiful waterfall. Mamish, which one? This? Oh, really?
I think it's
No.
I'm almost positive.
This is definitely us.
I'm almost
So what you see over here, let me just show you. Oh, hold on. How does this pop out? Okay.
That's us.
Definitely us.
That's us.
Hold
That
on.
wasn't
This is me. This is Noam. And this is Avi Kamiansky. These are the guides. Guide 1, guide 2. Okay. Now, I'll just show you. Tomorrow I'll show the rest. It's a little bit of... This is the first day of the We all gathered here in this room to learn the very first daf of MDY, Avodah Zarah Daf Chav Ches. In middle of a sugya, without even 2 dots, not a Mishnah, not a new Perek, not a new Masechta, smack in the middle. And the first person to show up, Harav Noam Fix. Hey, Noam! This is the place that we found to give the shir on day 1, and we were here for 2 years. I sat down right over here, and another 7 people sat around. This is where it all started. Avodah Zarah Daf. Here was a little darker then, huh? Some people had hair then also. From the very first day, Yeshua Aaron Price That's Yeshua. Would stand right here on the street, grabbing people, telling people, come to the shir, you gotta hear the shir. Eventually we had 40 people in this narrow room, and it was becoming a little tight. We needed a new place, MDY. 7 years and never missed a day. 7 years. 100 people, over 100 people a day. the excitement, the energy, the geschmack, like the very first day. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Rabbi Isai, if there was ever a time to join Daf Yomi, it's for this Masechta, Masechtas Avodah Zarah. Do not wait for brachas. This is one of the most geschmackste Masechtas in Shas, with over 25 daf. All right, I'll show the rest tomorrow. We'll do the sponsorships. Sitting right here, the grosses, sponsored by Shimi Gross, the Nishmas, Moshe Chaim ben Reb Mordcha, and the Refuah Shleima, Mariam Miriel Bas Devoira, the best mother in the world. Refuah Shleima, Mami. The Masechta is sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Rav Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zichron Levracha. Masechta sponsors. These are $9,000 sponsors each. Hatzlocha Baruch Nisu Begashmis L'Chus Achenu B'nei Yisrael. Anonymous. May our learning be a shield of protection. Can you imagine? I'm thinking now. 7.5 years ago, we came in. We didn't have a budget. It was just coffee. Just coffee. Today, our share costs us over $2.5 million a year to give a share. 7.5 years later, if you'd have said then it's going to cost you $2.5 million a year, I was like, okay, see you later. You didn't tell me that, Noam. Tzlocha, may our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Monthly, Moshe Aaron and Miriam Landy, thank Hashem for all the bracha and simcha. TCS Israel powered by Talk and Save. Yoni Kletzik, Refuah Shleima, Miriam Esther, Bas Perel, Frado Pesel, Anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Chulda Leah, Bas Bracha. Weekly sponsors, Yosef and Abigail Feinerman, thanking Hashem for saving our son Shmuel Menachem from recent near drowning incident. Michelle Weinberger, in honor of my father's birthday, Dr. Again, it's a weekly sponsor, maybe by the end of the week. Mitchell Weinberger, what's the Yiddish name? I want to know what the Yiddish name is. What's a Mitchell? How do you say Mitchell in Yiddish? Michol. Maybe. Let's change it. Rabbi say, in honor of MDY and your father's birthday, Dr. Eli Weinberger, Mitchell, we're changing it. Montreal. Shlomi Sharf. Hatzlach b'chol anyonim. Anonymous. L'nishmas Ariel Yisrael beri Mordche. Peter Merker. Peter. What's your name, Peter? In memory of my mother, Evelyn Merker. Chava bas Moish on her 9th yard site. How do you pronounce this? Iris. The Iris crew at HCS Resort. Happy birthday to Shimi Braun, the best manager. Shimi, maybe it's the Shimi that we know from Brooklyn Matzes. Mami Gortzman, Mazel Tov Ephraim Gortzman on your 4-year dafversary. He's doing daf 4 years. Wow. 4 years of never missing a day. Love your parents. We love you. Ephraim is a rock star. Mamish a rock star. Anonymous for the safe return of all the hostages in Refuah Shleima, L'chol Chayli Am Yisrael. Today, Nebuch, 2 young soldiers were killed, 3 and a lot injured. They should all have a Refuah Shleima. The Neshama should have an Aliyah. Reb Eli's New Yorker Shlita, in honor of those who get insulted, that people get insulted, but hey, they feel that's where it's at. Yitzir Ruchi Pariser, L'zeich Nishmas, our grandfather Yisrael. I'm having a hard time today. Yisrael ben Shimon Olav Shalom, Irving Doppel on his yard side. MDY kids, monthly innovations. Chuz for official Chonan Akiva, Rifki, Mrs. Stefansky. Kalman Yisrael for learning 4 Masechtas with the Rebelli. How old are you? You do the daf with me? No, you do the daf a little bit. How old are you? 13. See, these kids are 9 and 12. They finished 4 Masechtas. Art of the month, Refuah Shleima for Yehodah Tanedam B'Shem Bracha. Refuah Shleima Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Hayeled Ariel Zev ben Hayeled Esther. Boisai, here goes. Daf, I did breakfast. So, yesterday, we were discussing whether or not a goy could perform a bris milah. So it goes like this. We had a stira in Reb Meir. Let me just, you see, this is Reb Meir. Meir says goy cannot do a bris milah. And then it says that Reb Meir holds that a goy could do a bris milah, if a doctor could. So what do we say? We said epoch. So this is how we do epoch in MDY. We switch it around. Now it all lines up, it's great. Reb Meir says goy is aser, Reb Meir says a doctor is aser, and everything's great. Now, it would come out, according to this, that according to Rabbi Yehuda, a kusi could do a bris milah. Ask the Gemara of Tanya of Rabbi Yehuda, Kusi Shapir Dami. A kusi. What's a kusi? A kusi is, they have them today in Eretz Yisrael. They're the kusim, the gevonim, and there's a machlokes in the Gemara throughout Shas. Is a kusi a gera rais? Did they convert? They converted because they were scared of the lions, or they're geri emes? Here, just to show you a little bit about what they do. It's interesting. Adiyim hazeh. They have a sefer Torah. Looks like they have 3 things. Aleph Bet Gid Dalad. Interesting stuff. Okay, they have Sfarim, the whole thing, but they're not Jewish. We don't consider them Yidden today. I hope they don't watch the shir. It's a little trouble with them. Zok the Gemara. V'sover Rabbi Yehuda Kusi Shapir Dami. Kusi could do bris milah v'tanya. Yisrael molas hakusi. It could go the opposite. We could do a bris milah to kusi. The kusi la yamul Yisrael. What are you telling me that kusi could do a bris milah on a yid? No, we said a kusi cannot. Why? What's the reason? They live today in Har Grizim in Eretz Yisrael. The reason is because he has kavana when he does the bris milah. He's thinking about Avodah Zarah. So Rabbi Yehuda himself says that a kusi is no good. And Omar Rabbi Yosi argues, oh, so Rabbi Yisai, those who know the answer, please don't answer. But what kind of mitzvahs do you need l'shma? Which mitzvah do you have to do l'shem the mitzvah? Because there's a mitzvah to do it. Sometimes you go to the matzah. I used to bake matzahs in Satmar. In Williamsburg, my whole life, my father used to only go to Satmar with my Zayda, Ramod Chasavitsky. You ever heard of Ramod Chasavitsky? Anyway, so over there, they have women, like back in the day. They had, now they have the high school girls, I think, even, but back in the Russian, the outer Russian ladies, there's a Shai Matzah's mitzvah. Why? Because matzah has to be done in Shai mitzvah. What else? Korban Pesach. What else? Tefillin. Mezuzah, Shem Hashem. Okay, very good. What mitzvah does not need lishma? What's a good example of mitzvah that doesn't need lishma? Sukkah. You don't need to use Shem mitzvah. Maybe Shem tzel. So says the Gemara. How do you know? Maybe bris milah you don't need lishma. And if you don't need lishma, so maybe the kusi could perform the bris milah. The kusi can keep on going and doing brisim until he dies. So now we have to go back to the original kasha of the Gemara and flip it around. We're going to stay over here on the flip side. Where was it? Oh, like this. No, they didn't like that. One flip. Okay. Is that good? Yeah, that was the flip. Says the Gemara, no. The Gemara is saying now.
No, flip it back.
Flip it back. Okay, so we're like this. So we have a steer in Rameir. On the one hand, Rameir says that a goy cannot perform a milah. On the other hand, he says a doctor could. And we have a steer in we have to understand Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gemara like this. No, so you do have to flip it. The Rabbi Yehuda.
Kusi. Now Rameir says kusi.
I have to
Rabbi
do.
Yehuda says Avi Kohanim.
Because we have a problem with Rabbi Yehuda and the kusi. Says the Gemara. No, this is not, because we're not talking about kusi over here. This is goy. We're not discussing kusi. Says the Gemara. So you have a contradiction. Rabbi Yehuda, could a kusi perform a bris milah or not? Over here, we just brought, it says mefurish, that really says lo yamul, kusi lo yamul, not a kasha. Why? Because it's not the same Rabbi Yehuda. Throughout Shas, when Rabbi Yehuda argues with Rameir, it's Rabbi Yehuda bari loi. Now we're talking about the famous Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, Rabbeinu HaKadosh. the one who authored the Mishnah. It's a different review. This is not a contradiction. So it's going to go like this. Rabbi said, just to make a sikum, very, very simple. When it comes to a goy, could a goy perform a bris milah? Rabbi says no. A goy can't. Why? Because it's exerted rabbanon. We're concerned that the goy is going to kill the child, or he's going to cause a krushavcha. He'll take the knife. He already has a knife. So, but a kusi could perform a bris milah. So Avi just told me yesterday after this year. He said his grandfather. What was his name again?
Mr.
Lukowitz.
Lukowitz. Reuven Yaakov Lukowitz.
Reuven Yaakov Lukowitz, who went through the lager, went through the war. So he got married after the war, and he was in Germany, and he had a German babysitter. And one day they come home from work, and she says, "I have bad news. The baby died, crib death." And he's convinced that she killed him. And that's the sugya here, that you're concerned about the guy, the Ovid Kechavim, the idol worshiper, that has a sinna to the Yiddish babies. So says the Gemara. So it's not a stira. You have Ahid, the review that Nasi, not the famous review the Ariel, the Sari review that Nasi Yomer. Minayin the Milah by the Chamishi Psula. How do you know that a guy that performs a Milah is puzzle? Tamiloyim Abato as Brisi Sishmar. This is the puzzle that we had yesterday. Then what? Shtei Mefurish and Pasuk. V'ata is Brisi Sishmar. You and your children, you perform a bris milah. Nobody else. A guy cannot perform the bris milah. Omer Rav Chizda, my time is Rabbi Yehuda. Why is it that a kusi cannot perform a bris milah? That you need a lishma? You need a lishma by a bris? T'chsev laHashem himoil. So this is super interesting because it doesn't really say in the pasuk laHashem himoil, right? What does it say in the pasuk? It says Chiyagu itcho ger v'aso pesach laHashem himoil leiko zachar. If you're doing a korban pesach, himoil leiko zachar. The Gemara is learning laHashem himoil, taking the word from up here and combining it with the word in the next kind of sentence. It's the same sentence, but there's a comma over there. You don't read it Lashem Himoil. You're making a korban pesach for Hashem. Himoil loy kozachar. In order to eat the korban pesach, you have to have a bris milah. But no, we're going to say Lashem Himoil, and the Gemara is going to say, but the other man is going to say, no, that's not how you read it. Rabbi Yossi Himoil Yimoil. It's a double lashon. So from the double lashon, I learn that you need lishma. V'idach. No, you going back? So I was right last time?
No. Rabbi Yossi argues, says you don't need lishma.
It's even without.
Himol Yimol
is a riboy. That's it. Kol Mila is kosher, even without lishma.
Ah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Rabbi Yossi who argues Himol Yimol. Okay, because we had an argument before about. We'll see that you read it Hamoil or Hamal Yimoil, but that's something else to say. And then they proved it from the art scroll. And now, now I understand what you're saying. Lashem Himoil, that you have to. We're talking about Lishma now. You need Lishma. That's what we're learning.
Rabbi Yehuda is saying you need lishma. Rabbi
Right.
saying, no, you don't. Himol Yimol is any mila.
Any Mila. But nothing to do with the Kusi, nothing to do with anything.
No, as long as he's Gamal.
Okay. Himol Yimol, any kind of Mila.
It's a riboy.
Correct. The extra word Himol.
Right.
V'idach Ksiv Lashem Himol. But doesn't it say they have to have Lishma? It has to be Lashem Himol. Oh, Pesach Ksiv. No, it's not even talking about the Mila. It's talking about in order to eat the korban Pesach, you have to have a Mila. Nothing to do with Lashem Himol. We don't read it like that. What does he do with the extra word Himol? It's not extra because that's how the Torah talks. Like human beings talk. It's normal to say a double lashon. Says the Gemara Itmar. How do you know that when a guy performs a bris milah, it's possible? You have to redo it. You have to do hatavas dam or whatever. Says the Gemara Doru bar Papa Mishmei Rav Omar. V'ata es brisi sishmar. You, Klal Yisrael, you keep the bris. Now, what's super interesting is
Himol Yimol has a slide, he says.
that's the next one. It does have a slide, but that's what I messed up on. I showed the show, yeah. It's very interesting. When do we bring Dor Bar Papa? By Siyum. Rochesh bar papa, Dor bar papa. Actually, it's the last papa, bar papa. From the 10 sons, he's the last one. So I looked it up. Dor bar papa, this is the only time in Shas that he's brought down. Right here on this daf. And this is our Siyum. It's mamish beautiful. Dor bar papa.
Pretty cool. You came up with that?
Avada.
Wow.
That's very cool.
But it's not mamish. There's another one place that he's brought down in Shas, but it's the same exact thing. But no, it's the same thing. It's just brought down again. This is it. Don't roll your eyes at me. Kick you out of the chair. It's the final day. First time you ever.
Last year we were at Pecarson.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I have to kick out Lepikarsim. Zog the Gemara. You hear this? It's our Siyum Shas today.
All right, I'm so happy. By the way, can I disturb for 1 second? A guy just sent me a message you're gonna love.
Yeah.
It says, "Good morning, Rabbi." Say is.
Gematria Gemara.
You knew this?
Yeah.
You've been doing it for
He said it was
7.5
his
years.
He probably also came up with, do you know it's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi? Zog the Gemara. That's what you disturb shit for. Seriously.
I came down looking for. I thought I was gonna find you in the game.
You thought this chiddush was good enough. You're not disappointed. They do have a gewaldige game room. I'm not going to tell you what goes on in that place. Somebody got schmettered in pool. I'm not going to say who. Okay, no, I'm fixed. Look around in Chimishel. Let's go. I'm not going to mention any names. Okay, so this we had before. Oh, so now we have a slide for this. Rabbi say, check this out. It's beautiful. It says in the pasuk, himoil yimoil. It says, Rabbi Yochanan, no, you read it like this. Look at this. Hamal yimoil. What does hamal mean? If you're gemalit, then you could do a milah. Which reminds me of Maisa that my father used to go to the Ribnitze, Zechron Levracha, a lot. And I'm not going to, I'm working on my novice. I'm not going to say what he said. The famous thing that he told me. But one thing that I don't talk about a lot is that he one time told my father, Ich bin geyiddisht. You know what that means? You ever use the Lashon? What does it mean? He made my bris, but it's not true. So maybe he got me confused with somebody else, but it can't be. Ich bin geyiddisht. Okay. Maybe now I have a pshat based on what he said before and this. No, but Emes. I'm trying to think now. Maybe it works. Okay. I just spoke to my father. I should ask him if he remembers this. My benayu. So Rabbi Yochanan says you have to have a milah in order to give a milah. So if you think about it, what could be a case of somebody that doesn't have a milah that wants to do a milah? Or somebody that does have a milah and shouldn't be able to do a milah? There's a few cases I can think of. You could come up with anything. What kind of case? What person doesn't have a milah and wants to perform a bris milah? So it could be a yid that can't do a bris milah on himself. You can't do it because if you do it, he dies. His brothers died. What?
A woman.
A woman. Very good. Very good. So could a woman do a bris milah?
Moshe Rabbeinu's wife did it.
How do you know? Maybe she didn't do it.
Legend has it she did it. I don't know.
It says in the pasuk.
Does it?
Yeah, it says in the pasuk.
I remember my Rabbi telling me she did it. I don't know.
Yeah, it says in the pasuk, but maybe you could argue that she didn't really. Maybe she sent the shliach. The Gemara is going to go into it. And then you also have a case of an Arab that has a bris milah, but he's not mekayim the Torah. So could he? So this is our sugi right now. So says the Gemara, my benayu. Both Rabbi Yochanan says I have a pasuk that says that you have to have a milah in order to give a milah, which would say that a woman l'chayra not. Here's another shayla that you could ask. The Gemara talks about it, so I'm going to allow myself to ask the question. Is a woman considered somebody who doesn't have a bris milah, but she doesn't need to have a bris milah? Or she's considered she has a bris milah? Sounds like an interesting shayla. And the second part of the shayla sounds like a little funny, probably not the right answer, and that is the right answer. That's what the Gemara says, that's considered, a woman's considered, she has a bris milah. Says the Gemara. Oh, so what's the nafkamina if you say like Rabbi Yochanan that you have to have a bris milah in order to perform? Or the Torah says you have to keep the Torah in order to do a bris milah. Says Gemara, my benayu, Aravi mol, you have an Arab who has a bris milah. So v'gavnuni mol, ikibinayu. The what man do mol. If the Torah says that in order to give a bris, you have to have your own bris. An Arab has a bris. But what would be the obvious question on that? No, Reb Shlomo, what do you think the question is? The question is, does an Arab really have a bris? He has the same bris as everybody else, but maybe it's not a kosher bris. Maybe, yeah, he has a bris, but big deal. Let's say a horse has a bris. He could perform a bris milah. He's not mekayim the Torah, and that's what the Gemara is going to ask. The Gemara is going to bring a good riot to it, though. Man, if you have to have a bris milah, an Arab has a bris milah, so he can perform. Ahmad, whatever his name is, he comes in, he does a bris milah. Man do Omar as brisi zishmar leka. But if the point is you have to keep the Torah, no, he's not keeping the Torah. Here we have a good shmaka picture. Maybe you probably know this guy, Shlomo. Nobody tell him who it is. Let's see if he chaps who it is.
You'll get it. He's good.
Who's the guy over there?
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, that's right.
Follow the science.
He says, "Don't touch it. It's yain esach. Don't touch the wine." The doctor is going to perform. He's going to perform a bris milah. Could he perform a bris milah? Yeah. So that's the sugya, really. Ika. The Gemara is asking a question now. An Arab has a bris, but not. A person says, I'm not going to benefit from anybody that doesn't have bris milah. Mutar ba'Ariel Yisrael. If a Jew doesn't have bris milah, he's allowed to benefit from him. Why? Because he's still considered like he's not a Ariel. He has a reason why he doesn't have a bris. I think Taisus points out, pretty short, Taisus talks about a mumar that says, I don't want to have a bris. That's something else. Taki's like a guy. But if you have a Arab that has a bris, that's considered an Ariel for all practical purposes. He's not allowed to have an Ariel from him. Even if you see from here, even if you have a bris milah, an Arab is considered halachically like he's not gemalt. Ella, so let's try again. The famous case of two brothers who, during the bris, they died. They have some sort of, let's say, I don't know, the clotting, whatever the problem is. You can't have a bris, so that you don't give the third brother a bris. So now what's his halacha? What's his status? He's not Jewish? He's a Jew, just so he can't have a bris. According to the Malam, it says that you have to keep the Torah. So this guy keeps all the Torah. He's in Koilul and everything, just doesn't have bris milah. But if you have to have a bris milah in order to give a bris milah, at the end of the day, this guy doesn't have a bris milah, so he can't be a moil. What? This guy is not considered, he doesn't have a bris. But nan, I'll prove to you from the other side. It says, also by Ariel Yisrael, over here, he says, I will not benefit from somebody that has a bris milah. So Memela, he cannot benefit from this brother who doesn't have bris milah. He can't benefit because he's considered that he does have a bris milah. Umuter, he's allowed to benefit from an Arab. Why? Because an Arab is considered that he doesn't have a bris. A yid that doesn't have a bris milah, he has a bris milah. That's what you said. So now, what the pella to me was, I thought it's tremendous chiddush. If you think to yourself, if you don't pick in the Gemara, I already gave it away basically, but everything that I thought was the opposite. I thought that a woman is brisi sishmar, she keeps the Torah. And I thought that she's considered that she doesn't have a bris. The Gemara says, mamish fakir don't fakir. Brisi sishmar, she's not brisi sishmar. Why? Because she's not keeping the bris. She keeps the Torah, but not the bris. That's why a woman it's a little bit of a problem, I think. They discuss, how does a woman say, in Birkas HaMaslin, how does she say that? She doesn't have bris, maybe according to the Gemara later, she is. She's considered mol. That's Mori. I didn't think about the pshat. Gewaldig. Mamish gewaldig. Oh, that does brisi sishmar, that you're keeping my covenant, my bris. Leka, she doesn't keep the bris. She doesn't have one. The isha la basmili, because she's not in the parasha. But according to the Malama, it says that you have to have a bris in order to give a bris. Ika. Whoa, why? The isha kimand mihilo damiyah. Here's the mordig chiddush that a woman is considered that she has a bris. That's why, l'chayra, according to this, a woman is born with more shleimus than a man. A man has something missing. A man has to fix something in his body in order to be a shalom. A woman comes out, boom. What? That's how they explain in seminary. I think they just do it to make them.
Like, when someone gets interviewed on TV, and what about that controversial blessing you guys make every morning?
Right. That's the answer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of answers just to make them feel good, though. Trust me, I used to have this fight with my sisters and my mother. Allah Shalom was givaldik.
You call all your female listeners.
Yeah. Shalasani Kirtzono. Anyway, weiter. I'm insulted. We should make a female insulted. But why are you watching? I'm insulted. Yeah. I just gave him a compliment, but I couldn't give him a compliment without knocking them. I said that they were born more b'shleimus. More b'shleimus. You heard that? Didn't you hear that?
Yeah.
How could they be insulted? I guess they could. They find a way. Weiter. Yeah. Ask the Gemara. Whoa! This is what everybody's wondering. Is there anybody in the world that says that a woman can't perform a bris milah? Oh, so if you're saying that a woman that she's in the parsha, so I got to tell you this. We all know, whoever went to Reb Chaim Kanievsky knows that he had a few things he was very makbid on. Beard. Oh, I used to get it from him every time. Was he beard? Short sleeves. He did not like short sleeves. He has to short. And what was the third one? Anybody know?
Payas and watches.
Watches. Payas and watches. You have payas also?
And emblem also.
Yeah, you can't have a shirt here. Your thing. Watches. Yeah.
But I
Watch.
like this.
Right.
That was the thing. You had to know how to.
I got into trouble. I once got into trouble. Whatever. I said that if somebody wants to make a lot of money, when it comes to, put up a little stand in front of his house. You have like these little sleeves that come up, like go onto your sleeves. Fake beards, watch covers. You have to know how to do the thing. So he did not like watches, especially after his shver B'liyashiv was nifter. B'liyashiv argued. He said it's not a levushisha. He said it's a what? Begadisha. He said it's a begadisha watch. So he was once at a bris, and the moil had a watch. So he said, women are mutter to do a bris milah. So somebody told me the story might not be true. So I could be it's not true, but I saw with my own eyes that I brought a guy in there. I helped be mekarev him from Or Sameach. So we went into Reb Chaim, and he's taking pictures. And all of a sudden he says, "Why is a woman taking pictures of me?" Because the guy had a ring. He didn't like that he had a ring. He's about tshuva. I see he's about tshuva. Kids, it didn't work. And the guy was so insulted, and then we had to go. And we didn't have the email address then. Nivgati. So he didn't know what to do. So I had to go to Rav Yitzchak Zilberstein. We went to Rav Yitzchak, and we said, your brother-in-law just insulted him. So what did he say? He said, he was a tikkun for the kids. He didn't help. He just dug it in deeper. He's a good guy. I saw the guy recently. He's still from Baruch Hashem. What's this? Why is this another one here? Let me see. Maybe Yoshi's still working on it. Hold on. You guys see it? Yeah. Let me put it over here. Oh, it's in English. Okay, he's still playing with it. I see he's on it. Okay. Zog the Gemara. It says Vatikach Tzipora Tsar, that Tzipora took the stone. So I saw somewhere because that the word Tzipora actually could be Tsar. You see, there's a tzaddik vav reish in it. Peh. Vatikach Tsar Peh. Akol Ponem. But it says before that she took the stone. That's what we learned in Cheder. That she caused somebody to do the bris. But it says before that she cut. She caused somebody else to cut the Amrli in the Shachrina of Avad. I saw that the only person really that could be is Aaron HaKohen, because nobody else had a bris, and they were all goyim and not. That's what they want to say. No, she started the procedure, and then the Malach let Moshe Rabbeinu go because he already saw that she's doing the bris. So Moshe Vagmer, and then Moshe Rabbeinu came and finished it off. Zog the Gemara, says the Mishnah. Misrapim em ripui mamay. This is the last Mishnah in our Shas.
Is it possible that she was allowed to do it because it was like an emergency?
But was it kosher or not kosher?
He'd have to do it for some bris later.
Yeah, but
How would it work if it's not kosher? If a guy does it, if a guy's not allowed to do bris milah, and the malach wants to kill somebody, wants to kill her husband, and an Arab jumps in or a monkey jumps in and does it, doesn't help.
well, it's like a woman making kiddush when the husband's out of town. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't feel right, but it.
No, so either it's mutter, it's asur. There's no in between.
Okay.
It's like women doing zimun. You ever heard of that?
No.
So my family do zimun. According to the Vilna Gaon, the women are supposed to do zimun. If they have a little zimun, if there's no men, 3 women, you can't believe it. Doesn't seem right. Chassin will go out of the mind. What? But it's
the woman who lays in Megillah, right?
that I don't know about. Now we're going a little crazy here. I'm telling you, Vilna Gaon. This is not making it up. This is, it's actually the Gemara. The Gemara talks about, I think, and in the Vilna Gaon passages like that. Fine. Zog the Gemara. Women bench, right? So why shouldn't they do zimun? I don't know. Zog the Gemara. The Mishnah, right? Misrabim ripui mammon. If you have to be healed by this is very interesting halachas here. Rabbi, this is Nagia to us today. Could we use an idol worshiper doctor? I saw mamish a whole thing that there was a doctor who would heal thousands of people. A guy. He would use certain things and he would open people's bodies up without knives and then close it down. It's like thousands of people, and the Rishonim were talking about whether or not you could use such a doctor. Is he using Avodah Zarah? What is he using exactly? Mamish, it's proven stuff. Everybody goes to him. You could use this doctor to heal you from mammon and not for nefashis. The Gemara is going to have to explain what that means. Dear Meir, check this out. Because I asked Yoshi to do something that's not so gory. So he did this. The problem is that if you let the Ovid Kachavim guy use a razor blade by your neck, it could be very dangerous. This is what can happen. There's a little bris on the neck, and it's all over. That's the problem. We're concerned that he's going to pretend that the knife slipped and cut the guy's throat. Only in Rishus Harabim, in front of a lot of people, it's okay. Here, more, it gets better. This is in front of the mirror, that's a different sugya. They're all lined up. So there's a lot of people watching, so he's not going to kill him. Okay. Says Gemara, my ripim nefashis. We have to understand what this means. So the Gemara starts off like it always does, the classic. It goes through the different things that are not, and then we'll get to what it is. Perhaps it means mammon means that he's getting paid. Makes a lot of sense. Mammon, pay. If a doctor gets paid, he's not going to kill you. Why? Because he wants to get paid. If he kills you, you can't pay him. Ribu nefashis bechinam, and nefashis means you got to be careful because he might take your life because it's for free. You get what you pay for. He might take your life. So that doesn't make sense. Why? Listen to bechinam. Just say simple. Why do you have to say mammon and nefashis? Say bechinam and not bechinam. Elo ribu mammon davar she'im bo sakana. Ribu nefashis davar she'esh bo sakana. In other words, if you go to the doctor, you have, I don't know, you need stitches, and he messes you up, what's the worst thing that could happen? Worst thing that happens, you have to go again to another doctor, pay another $1,000, and then get it right. But that's a momentous thing, so you lost some money. Nefashis means he could take your life. If you go to him and he messes up, bedafka, a person is dead. That person that's it, he's gone. Nothing you can do about it. As the Gemara, V'omer Rav Yehuda, afilu rivda dechusilta. Rivda Chusilta means this is the tool that you do bloodletting with, and let's say he just poked the arm a little bit, the little needle, and there's like a little tiny incision. Even that you can't go to the idol worshiper to have him deal with it, stitch it up or whatever it is. So it can't be. Even if there's no sakana, you're not allowed to use them. Elo ripim mamim behemtoi. I don't even know if I said this in Hebrew. I hope I did. Seems like I skipped this line. Elo ripim mamim behemtoi. Mamim means your animal. Ripim nefash is gufei. And nefash means his own body. Animal is maminis. Nefash, do not use him for anything. Even a rivd de chuzil, even a tiny little hole, a little poke. Don't go to the idol worshiper doctor. That's exactly what Rav Yehuda said, that you don't go to the doctor for a small puncture wound of the chusilta. If you ask a doctor what medicine to take and he tells you exactly what medicine, you're allowed to listen to the guy. Why? Oh, so we have a doctor in Ramat Bet Shemesh. You remember the line that I said in Hebrew? Dr. Dinner has a mug that says on the mug, don't confuse your Google search with my medical license. In other words, a lot of people, before they go to the doctor, they go, and they think they know better than the doctor. So he wants to say, listen, I'm a doctor. Don't confuse your Google with my big chachma that I learned in school. So what's going on today, what's saying over here is, this guy is not sure. This doctor, he thinks you're trying to test him out compared to another doctor. He asks the doctor, what should I take? Guy's pneumonia. Should I take vitamin C or should I take antibiotics? So if he tells you vitamin C, he's going to look like a fool. He doesn't want to look like a fool. He's not going to try to kill you now because he thinks that he's up against somebody else, that you're asking around and you have more knowledge, and therefore he's going to tell you the truth. You could ask a second opinion for somebody else. And he's going to just look bad and they're going to take away his license. He doesn't want that. Oh, sponsors. Turning of the DAF sponsors. Adar Global Access to International Financial Services. Anonymous is and with the gratitude of safe and healthy birth of our baby boy, Mazel Tov, Givat Shalva, Torah True Community in Givat Zev. I just want to say real quickly, it's not 100% Givaldi, but it's fine. That yesterday it hit me when we were saying Slichas on Shavas B'Tammuz. We say that what happened on Shavas B'Tammuz? The Talmud was stopped. What's the Talmud? Say this week's parasha. By the way, if you don't say korbanos, a lot of us don't have time to say korbanos. If you just say one thing, you should say the carbon Talmud. That's the best from all the korbanos. That's the one. Now, what's the godless of the carbon Talmud is never a day went by that there's no carbon Talmud. So I thought to myself, the carbon Talmud was stopped on Shavas B'Tammuz, and we picked it up. We do the Talmud. Every single day we do a Daf Gemara. Every single day we learn Torah on vacation and on Tisha B'Av and on Yom Kippur. Every day of the year. There's not a single day of vacation that we have. And that's the Talmud Shabbat Talmud. So it's like we're trying to make a tikkun to that terrible day of Shavas B'Tammuz. Zog the Gemara Marava. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Omer Rabbi Chizda Rabbi Yochanan. So this is neged to us today. We all know, unfortunately, somebody or more than somebody goes to the doctor. The guy says, "I don't know if you're going to make it." So this is not really what I'm talking about yet, but this is case number one. Guy goes to the doctor. The doctor doesn't know. I don't know how long you're going to live. I don't know. You could live 5 years. You could live one day. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Rappim, you don't go to a goyish doctor. I'm going to call him an idol worshiper, not goyish, because idol worshiper. That's the people that we're talking about. You can't go to the idol worshiper. But if this guy has 3 days to live, he has a month to live, whatever it is, then you could go to the idol worshiper doctor because the guy's for sure going to die. So what's the worst that's going to happen? Instead of living a month, he'll live 1 day. Okay. You don't go to him if he's going to take the life of a person that's going to live for a long time. Ask the Gemara, wait a minute. May so what do you mean? But at the end of the day, this guy might kill him today, and he's going to be missing out those special moments of life. Every moment, every minute of life, he could be Mekayim mitzvahs, could be Oved Hashem, and you're taking that away. How can you go to him? Says Gemara, the Chayisha Lechayshinon. I'm not so. At the end, it's between living a day or a month. It's possible that he's not going to. It's possible he'll heal the guy. So for that, I'm not going to be chayshish. How do you know such a concept? What do we have?
We started with 8 guys. We're being Messiah with 8 guys.
Psh. We're in. It's not bad because I'll tell you. For us, it's shvach, right? We're used to having 80 to 100 guys and live another 300 people, v'chulu v'chulu. But to have 8 guys in a shir, I gave a shir in Chicago for 8 years straight with 5 people. 8 people, there's a lot of guys. It's very nice. It's kosher. Yeah, full circle. This is how it was. This is the shir. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have no recording, nothing. Garnished. The only person that's not in any of the pictures is Noam Fix, because he took all the pictures, all the way. But he was there. So here's the question. By the story that there was 4 Mitzrayim, and the Navi says, don't worry, tomorrow there's going to be so much food. It was famine. You couldn't find any wheat. The wheat was worth like gold. He said, tomorrow it's going to be nothing. It's going to be peanuts. So they started laughing at him. Tomorrow, in one day, it's going to change. Yeah. Kids, the story is that there's 4 people that had tzaras, and when you have tzaras, you can't be in the encampment, so they're outside. And they didn't know what to do. They were starving. They go back in, no good. They go to the goyim, they could die. They decide we're going to go to the goyim. It's like literally, like you hear these stories of Chassidish guys in a car getting lost. They follow ways and they find themselves in the middle of. They thought they have to go to Ramallah. It's the same thing. They go into Ramallah, and before you know it, their life is in tremendous danger. Some people have died. Actually, a woman died not so long ago, 2 years ago. She walked in there to buy something. Boom! They killed her. So they decide they're going to go into the Goyish neighborhood over there to the Amram. And what happened was, Neis Hashem made a lot of noise at night, and they all ran away. They left everything: the gold, the silver, the food, everything. Aram. So, yeah. So it says like this: if we go back to Klai Yisrael, we're going to die from Klai Yisrael. There's no food there. And then they decided instead we're going to go to the Avodah Zarah to Aram, but it's also dangerous over there. But at least if you go to Klai Yisrael, so you'll die, but you'll have a few minutes to live, a few extra minutes. Why kill yourself right now? On the tzad that maybe you'll live longer. I'm not so concerned. Anyway, he's going to die here. There's a chance that he'll live even longer, so let's go. Let's do it. So this is a question that's been asked many, many times, all the time, unfortunately. And we had Mati Fried from the hotel over here who does a lot of chesed, so he told me that people ask him this question all the time. Question is, a person knows he's going to die. He's a terminally ill person. You say, you have two months to live. But if you go into surgery, you get 3 months, 5 months. Happened to my mother. My mother had pancreatic cancer, so they did the Whipple. The Whipple, the survival rate of pancreatic cancer is 2%. So they say, do Whipple. You get a 6 months extra. Now the Whipple is very hard. It's an 8-hour surgery, very, very hard on the body. So what do? If you don't do it, then it's like a month. You do it, you get 6 months. But also you could die on the table. That's the shaila. What happens to a patient that could die, not come out of surgery? Do you do surgery because maybe he'll live an extra 6 months? Or just let him live for 3 weeks now? Or no, maybe, but he might die right away. So that's the Gemara shaila now. Chayisha. If you don't go into surgery, you have at least 3 weeks. If you go into surgery, you get 6 months. Also, you could get one minute. You could die on the table. What do you do? So they want to bring a right from this Gemara that we're not choishes l'chayisha, and you should do surgery, because maybe you'll get to live for 6 months. That's what they want to bring a right. Rav Moshe talks about. They bring this Gemara here. Says the Gemara. crazy Maisa. This Maisa is going to make some people upset. Meisvei, lo yiso v'yiten odom imaminim. You're not allowed to do any business, don't get into any discussion with the min, with the apikoris. I just thought about him. It really has to do with Amud Aleph. But now it's talking about minim. There's a guy, he was a min, he was an atheist. So he says, whoever wants could try to convince me to be whatever. So the Muslim goes in there, tries to tell him a little Quran, this, that. So he beats him up, kicks him out of there. The Christian goes in, the Jew goes in, also here screaming. The Jew comes flying out, he's all happy. So what happened? He says, by us, first thing is a bris milah. Then we discuss. Yeah. Has really to do with Amud Aleph, a little bit today on Amud Beis, Givaldi. You don't get into discussion with a min. Oh, and you shouldn't take any medicine from him, even for extra life over here. There's a story of Ben Dama. Ben Dama, the Gemara in Menachos tells us that he's a big Talmud Chacham. He says in the Tzadik Tes Menachos, he says, I know somebody like me, I know the whole Torah. Could I learn extra, Yavanis stuff? What is it called? Secular studies, not Minos. Secular studies. Divrei Chachma, YouTube. TikTok. So Rabbi Shmuel tells him, yes, like something like yes, you could learn, because it says in the pasuk, "V'gisa b'yoyim v'layla." You have to learn day and night. So just do it when it's not day and not night. You can watch YouTube as much as you want. Just make sure it's not day, it's not night. Verstehst? In other words, you can't do it. That's what, no, that's both. It's both. Not. Who says none? It's a suffix. Okay, if you know when it is, you can do it. Do it right then. Zog the Gemara. So, this Ben had a terrible story here. Ben Dama. He got a snake bite. A poisonous snake bit him. So this is Yaakov Ish We had him earlier in the Masechta, when the Gemara over there says, the Rebbe Lezer says, I think he was very upset that the Minim got him and they wanted to kill him and he got out of it. And Rebbe Kiva tried to calm him down and said, you know why? You know why it happened? Maybe you taught us. What did I say? Rebbe Eliezer. Rebbe Eliezer. No, Rebbe Kiva told Rebbe Eliezer's Rebbe, he says, I'll tell you why. Maybe. You taught us. Rabbeinu, could I say something? He said, yes. He said, you told us that maybe there's a little bit of minos, that maybe he had something to do with the minim. And he says, yes. His Kartani, you reminded me that one time this Yaakov Ish Kfar Sachnia, so over there it says on the side, and the guys at Siyum, they took it out because they're scared of the Christians. Took it out. It's Yoshka's Talmud. And he said a vart from Yoshka. And he had a lot of anah from the vart. It was like a funny thing. He said it was like a litzanis kind of thing. That you could take money from the Desnan Zoyna, Mechir Kelev, and you asked him, could you make a bathroom out of it? He says, yeah, you could. And he said a nice, funny vart. And Rebbe Eliezer had enough from it. That's the same guy. This is him. He's an apikoros. And this apikoros guy, he says, you got bit by a snake? I have the antidote. Rebbe Shmuel says, no, you can't use him. He's a min. He's Yoshka's Talmud. No way. So Ben Doma tells him, like any good yid would do, you see you're dying, and you said this guy comes up with a chumrah for the Rabbandik chumrah. Listen, I'll give you some psukim right away. Just give me this antidote immediately. Rabbi Shmuel Achi, my brother, let him heal me. I'll give you a passage from the Torah that's mutter. And the Maisa, he died from the snake bite without getting healed. Kor of the Rishmal. Rishmal said on him, Ashrecha ben Dama, Shegufcha tar, your body is tar, V'yatsan Shmascha b'tahara, and your neshama came out when you said the word mutter. Mutter is the Melashon tahara. And you weren't over on the chachamim. When you break the fence, the gather, what's a good word for gather? Boundary. We make boundaries. No, fence is the literal, but the boundary is the word that I'm looking for, because chacham made a boundary. Maybe there's a better word. That you shouldn't do it. That you should prevention. Okay. No, okay, boundary. So more the why does it say that if you break the boundary of chachamim, the snake will bite you? I can think of other animals that have much better bites than a snake. Hippopotamus bites a human being. They do hundreds of times a year. They kill the most human beings. They just one bite, snap in half. It's finished. They take a watermelon. It's like a joke for them. Take a lion. Lion bites a person. Boom, takes a whole piece of his body right out. What's the shchen nachash? The pshat is, because when a lion bites a human being, you know very well that you got bit by a lion. It's painful and you need surgery immediately, otherwise you'll die. But when a snake bites a human being, it looks like it's nothing. It looks like two little needle. You look, shtosim will go away. Oy vavoy. And all of a sudden, poof, it's all over. And that's the word. When you say on a chachamim, many people say, it's just the Rabbanon. The Rabbanon, no. It's not the Rabbanon. It's not the end of the world. No. Don't look at it like that. It's not the two little things, just the Rabbanon. It's very, very bad. It could kill you. It will kill you. Be careful. Says the Gemara.
But he had the snake bite before he came to the doctor.
Yeah. That's what the Gemara is going to ask in a second. Okay. That's exactly the Gemara's question. Says the Gemara, it's not like you heard the shir before, right? Do me a favor. I'm going to have to, that's when I was about to kick you out, so you weren't focusing. You were focused on it. It's a very hard story. It's a hard story the guy has an antidote. You don't let the antidote. What's going on here? The Gemara is going to explain it better. Says the Gemara, Shani minus the mashcha. When a person is a koifer, like this Yashkis Talmud, because of him, billions of people are following it. In other words, he was a persuasive person. He has the antidote, and then he goes and he convinces you to go with the whole thing. Not only that, he goes and he tells his friends, I saved Ben Dama, this tremendous gadol, I saved him. With this kishuf, with this new religion that we have. That's the problem. It's not, he's a min, he's a shtickle apikairis, and he has the antidote, just us up. Give him the thing. No. This is a problem of a chil Hashem farhesia, and people knowing what you did. That's the problem. Shmuel says, look, he was maspidim. You didn't break the chachamim, and you didn't do paris the god. If you would have been bit by a snake. I said, what do you mean you would have been bitten by a snake? You already was bitten by a snake. So let him get healed by this doctor, and if he gets bitten by a second snake, he'll be healed from that also. What's the problem? So you want to know, chiv the rabbanon. We're not talking about a physical snake. We're talking about the chacham snake. The let's lay a susaklal. When chacham bite you, there's no healing. He told Rabbi Shmuel right before he died. He said, "I have a pasuk to prove that I could be healed by him." What was the pasuk? V'chai b'hem. This is Moridik. V'chai b'hem. You hear? Torah is to live by. Torah is not there to restrict us. A lot of people think, we have so many rules and regulations and laws, and can't do this on Shabbos, and can't do this. If I bite my lip, maybe I'm chayiv misa, and if I go like this with my finger, all these things. No, the Torah is v'chai b'hem. It gives us life. It's not a restrictive thing. And certainly, because of a halacha, a gzera that you have, a person's going to die from a snake bite now. Says Rabbi Shmuel, you're right. The Torah is there to, you're not going to believe what Rabbi Shmuel holds. No, nobody knows this. Rabbi Shmuel holds that if somebody comes to you with a gun and says, do Avodah Zarah, you do Avodah Zarah, he holds. Yeah? Just, we say, Shlosh Chumurs, that's Barabim. If you're in Spain, by the stake, and they tell in front of everybody, say, do Avodah Zarah, then you say no. According to Rabbi Shmuel. But in private, the Torah is there for you to live, not to die. That's in private. But when it's in public, you have a chil Hashem. There's no way out of a chil Hashem. If a person says, I will kill you if you don't do Avodah Zarah, you should din Avodah Zarah. Do it and don't die. And now I have to stop because I have to use these words for our Siyum that's going to take place in the Beis on Wednesday morning, Beis Hashem. And you guys, please finish the words yourselves so you don't have anything 1 minute. Oh, it's an hour and 5 minutes. So Nachamal, I want to wish all my Chaverim a Mazel Tov, everybody in MDY a Mazel Tov, Klal Yisrael a Mazel Tov. It was unbelievable that somebody offered it. We jumped on it without delay. If we would have delayed, it wouldn't have happened. That next morning, Avodah Zarah Daf Chof Ches, in the middle of nowhere, you could look, nothing here. It's in the middle of a Masechta, in the middle of a Perek. And from that little machshava, whoever's idea it was at the time, 40,000 Talmidim, 40,000 people do Daf. I think the largest, as I said before, I believe, the largest kiruv organization in the world, the largest yeshiva maybe in the world. And all from that one idea, all from that one daf, Avodah Zarah Daf Chof Ches. We'll see you tomorrow, Beis Hashem. Yishkoyach, have a wonderful day. Mazel Tov, Simen Tov.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.